Hello my beautiful lights, how are you? So I was literally doing some chores just now. I finished work for the week and I like my space clear and clean and everything, and they've given me this information and they're right here with us now. It's absolutely beautiful. So if you're new to the channel, hello, my name's Lauren. I'm a master in energy. I believe we only master oneself truly, and I work with mind, body and spirit in this life, and I bring messages from the divine, and this is also teaching us. It's about our soul evolution and how we can ascend in this lifetime, and it's aiding one another. So I'm basically answering a question, and I was contemplating it within my spirit whilst I was doing chores, and the angels have given me this information. So as you can see, it's like scribble, 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 write down. So it's like doctor's handwriting here. So what is the 5D and above? Like this Empress energy. This is what I was feeling. The Empress energy, and how do you know when you're there, when you're truly there? Because people see it only as 3D programming, you know, monetary, you've made it to this place, and it's not. It's energy, frequency and vibration. Mind, body and spirit. It's the feeling, it's the energy. So what's it like, the 5D and above? And they were asking me, how do you know? How do you know? Because you're only there, you know, for a minute. You'll feel that vibration for a second and you'll feel complete and whole and everything, and then you retract back to the 3D or something comes into your universe. It's about programming your reality, okay? The power is within your hands. This is you co-creating your reality with the universal energies, and you know, they don't teach you you hold this power when truly your power is from within. So you'll start noticing little things within the 3D world, like, so it was a client of mine said, oh, Lauren, you know, I used to watch a lot of tarot, and she used to watch my old channel and things on YouTube. And she said, I'm watching these readers and they don't resonate with me anymore. What's going on? And, you know, I'll click on something and I'm like, well, no, that's not how I'm feeling. And at one time it was exactly how I'm feeling. I said, because you're at different frequencies. So, you know, we can, as I said, different messages come from different timelines and different parts and parcels. Now, the reason lights are on this channel, this whole channel is about sort of, and it's not an arrogant thing I'm saying about this, it's not, it's because you're on the same timeline as I am. We're at a different frequency to other timelines, and that's absolutely fine. The whole purpose in this channel is we've put a beacon of light out in order to find people at the same vibrational frequency. They're awakened, they're aware of what's going on, they're in the light, we're warriors of the light. This is what the mission's about. And I was explaining to her that, you know, there are other timelines, there are lower timelines, as it were, and these things are like, you have a choice. We all have a choice, right? So if you made that choice in the past and you decided to go on a path of your lower will, that would resonate with you in that timeline. But because you've decided to take the higher path, what we spoke about the other day, then different things will resonate. Now, the thing is, she doesn't need that in her life, actually. She is an awakened being. She understands and sees and hears and everything, and I've been working with her for quite a few years, and her development has been absolutely amazing, and it opens my heart when I speak about it, because she really is this beautiful lotus flower. You know, she's journeyed through the darkness, she's done this shadow facing, and she's just blooming, absolutely blooming. And I said, because you know you don't need that anymore. You know your direction, you know your purpose, you know. And you know all of this around you. So the universe is saying it doesn't resonate with you because you're not on that timeline anymore, honey. You are ascending. You have ascended. You have shifted timelines. You are an ascended being. And that's what it comes down to, you see. So things in the 3D will no longer resonate with you because you've leveled up above that. And it's not being mean. It's not being mean, it's just speaking the truth. That's what happens, you know. It's sort of, the energy will shift. So this is your frequency and you're shifting, and this energy is behind it. It'll eventually catch up with you, and then you'll go for a few months and think, oh, we're on even, you know, even timelines again. And then it will go like this and you'll ascend again and this will catch up again, because you don't actually need that. You know the truth, you see the truth, you feel the truth, your intuition is on fire. So therefore, why are you relying on someone external to yourself in order to tell you that? Because you hold the power, and that's what I've been teaching you for 5 years. And she's like, oh yeah, actually I knew this, and I'm like, there we go. It's when we doubt, actually we doubt oneself, that we have to have this external validation. And that's our 3D programming, right? I love tarot. I absolutely love tarot. It's a tool given to us. It's absolutely beautiful. When the right person holds that tool, they will build you a house. The other person can do something really bad with that tool. So there are certain readers I absolutely adore. And I watch them because I just love watching them do the light work, now and again. I watch lots of different things. I love building things, obviously my old world. I love watching all of that. So yeah, what once resonated with you will no longer resonate with you because that's your old self. That's not your new self. That's not your ascended self, right? So another thing I said to her about it, so you're in this Empress energy. Remember, it's not male or female because we are both. We are both sexes. It's your divine feminine energy. So you're in the divine feminine energy. You're in this receiving mode. You're just going with this beautiful flow of life. And, all of a sudden your day will just go with the flow. At one point, if you sat down and you took a seat and you thought, I'm going to read this book this afternoon, for example, or I'm going to watch that film I've been wanting to watch for a while, and I'm just going to have some me time. That's what the Empress does. It's self-care, it's self-nurturing, but she don't feel guilty about it. It's literally taking that step back and enjoying that frequency, knowing that flow, abundance and everything just simply flows in. And that is what your 5D and above is. You have such a deep faith that you can release and surrender to the vibrational frequency, that things just flow in with ease. Because we're programmed and born into a world where you have to work to exhaustion and, you have to work tooth and nail to make a lot of money and you have to do this. That's BS. Absolute BS. It will just flow. And when you release and surrender, and when you've leveled up to the level of 5D and above, that's not the limit, guys. It's just, I say 5D because it helps people understand that it's higher than the 3D in which we live, okay? So when you ascend up and you're in this flow state and you are in the art of allowing, which is absolutely beautiful, the law of attraction, the art of allowing, when things flow in with ease, you take a seat and you just know. It's beautiful. So that's another way you'll know you're there because you don't feel guilty about having that break. You don't feel guilty about not working your nails to the bone. You know that the universe have your back. And if you require something for that, that'll come in. And it's as simple as that. It's a beautiful, beautiful faith to hold within your heart. It gives you this deep, profound inner peace, knowing that everything will be taken care of. Even if you're going through a 3D bumpy ride, you know that once you get through this 3D bumpy ride, that a beautiful rainbow will come out and there's something beautiful afterwards. It's like the universal balance. When you're aware of how the universe works and everything is in balance. So this is how I work, for example. So if I'm going out for a naughty treat, like we go out for, an ice cream and all of that, I'll know. And I'll say to myself, okay, Lauren, if you want to eat that ice cream, then you do a little workout this morning, you earn that ice cream. It's not punishment because I love dancing free and, I love a workout. So nothing that's punishment, it's just divine balance. And what I eat and put in my body is divine balance. I eat mindfully, all of this. And when we live our life in divine balance, everything comes into divine balance. So I said that. So that's another way you will know. And it's all about the flow. So you're not fearing anymore. You don't live in a state of fear. There can be external chaos to your being and you're just sat at this profound, deep inner peace. And you start questioning yourself. There's something wrong with me. Shouldn't I be worried, or all of this is happening and I can feel it and I can send love, but I know that that love is really, really important and I can say my prayers, but you're sat at a peaceful state. And then you start questioning it because the 3D, you would be worried, you'd be overthinking, you'd be programmed and in this fear log. And you just sat there going, oh, I will send my love. But you don't ever lose that inner peace. You're sat there in your deep state. And it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Like family members could be fighting over there and you just think, oh, so 3D. so 3D. And that is such an Essex thing to say, right? Sorry, Essex girls. But, you know, southern and northern, I'm a muggle, don't forget. So, you know, it's like so 3D. You're not even going to lower your level to that state of being because it's just not worth your time or your energy. And that's not arrogance again, that's confidence. There's a difference between arrogance and confidence. And it's just not worth your time, and it's a bit aggy, and you're just like, oh no, thank you, and you rise above it. You know, there's something on social media and you're like, I don't think so, scroll, you know, unfollow, not in my frequency, thank you. And it's protection of oneself as well, and it's just knowing your worth, and that's what it's like. It's easy, it's just this beautiful flow. I'm not saying they're not things that come into your vibrational frequency, you just deal with them better. You don't let things upset your energy. It's absolutely amazing. So it's not being arrogant, it's being at peace. Your day will just flow, and it's beautiful. You'll get stuff done as well, and it'll just flow. So you'll think to yourself, you know, like we all do, we don't sort of live by the time. We know like work and everything like that has to be timed, work, school, college, uni, all of that. It's all on a time log, right? But when you're in the flow, when you're in your peaceful state, when you're away from, you know, the 3D programming sort of thing, you're just in this flow and you have lots to do, but you just get it done with ease, without thought, and it just flows into one another. It's absolutely beautiful. So nothing feels like work. So if, like me, everything you love you do for your job, which I literally have created my own reality, which is why I can talk about it, and everything I do I absolutely adore, and I'm so very blessed and I'm forever grateful for that. But it doesn't mean that I haven't been through the dimensions of you know what in order to get there. You know, I had to do a lot of soul healing, I had to do a lot of clearing, I had to do studying, I had to do soul evolution and everything, which is why we talk about it openly here, because this is a safe place, right? And we bring this light into the world. It doesn't mean it was necessarily easy. It's easier now because I feel like the destination I have reached is there, and everything I do with mind, body and spirit. But I still had doubts. I still had my shadows going, you can't do this, you can't start that business, you can't do that. And I made a list for myself and I said, you are going to do that. I didn't give myself a choice. You are going to do that. And that, again, it wasn't arrogance, it was confidence. And every single thing I ticked off. It doesn't matter how big or how small. It's about achieving that for oneself. It wasn't about the showing off about it. Nobody else knows about it. This is my list, right? And you've got your own. So you just tick it off, and that's an achievement to oneself. And that's how we work, and it sort of lifts your elevation as well, and it gives you that confidence to move forward. So everything in my 3D mind and programming that I was taught, you can't do this, you're female, for example, I had that a lot growing up because I'm a female, so hence divine feminine, you know, that's where I actually gained my strength. I transmuted that into light, because forever taught as a girl, as a woman, you cannot do this, this and this and this. So I was like, yeah, I can. Watch me. Not arrogant, again, confidence. And it was transmuting that into power. And when you come from a background where women are sort of, you can do this, this and this. Now, I love my divine feminine energy. I love being a mum. I love all of that. I love all of that. But that doesn't define me. I define me and you define you. And it's just that allowing, actually, and now I don't care what they think, which is lovely, you know. So that was when I was in the ego energy more, and we all have to go through that, and I was like, watch me, I can do that. You can't do that. Yeah, I can. And I did, and it was to prove, but it was actually massive soul growth at the time. And when I look back and I understand that in fact I needed to go through that in order to learn that. And we evaluate our life later on, and we see the progression, which is absolutely beautiful, and the release of certain aspects of ourselves. And there's certain parts of our ego energy that we use to prove oneself. And especially when you're born into a world of, I was working in a man's world, as they put it, and I was a female boss in a man's world, and it was hard. sometimes. It was really, really hard, and I had to prove myself and my knowledge within that sector in order to show that I was worthy of that role, because I was a female. And it's really, really difficult when you're working in a man's world. And I did, but that was requiring me to be more in that ego energy. And I look back and I needed to do that actually. Who was I proving it to? Was I proving it to myself? Was I proving it to them? Or was I proving to the world that, you know, males and females, we have different strengths and we can do a lot more than just be tied to a kitchen sink? I don't know. You know, when I first started this channel, for example, I had quite a few males who were in organised religions have a go at me because I was preaching and I'm a female. How dare I? And I was like, I don't think so. Off you trot. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Because we are all equal. We are all one. And that's how I see us. It doesn't matter if we have boobies or not. Now does it? We are spiritual beings having a human experience. You know, this is the rise of the divine feminine energy. This is all about heart frequency. And sometimes you need a female to speak that word too. You know, there's a lot of big people on YouTube, for example, who are males. And I watch them and I think, oh my goodness, like we do. And they're not always preaching the right vibration, but because they're males, people listen. And it's a shame, because if we truly opened our hearts, we would see that it doesn't matter if we're male, female, no matter what we are, it's what we hold. And that's the truth here. So, what else? There are no rules, there are no schedules. We've spoken about that. There is no time when you're in that frequency of allowing, of the flow, of the energy. It just flows and everything will just match up beautifully. Your day will match up beautifully. And it's about, as well, when you're in the flow, when you're in that abundant form, there's no fear of anything. Like I said about the tick list and everything like that, you'll just be able to do it without fear, because you don't overthink in the 5D. There is no overthinking. It's just like, okay, I need to do that, so I'll do it. You know, oh, I've got to do that, so I'll do it. You're not overthinking anything, because the 3D programming is void when you're in that frequency. So you'll say to yourself, okay, I want to finish writing that book this week. And without thought, you just do. And it's amazing. And you finish that book. And then you submit that book. And it's beautiful. You know, it's sort of like you're not overthinking anything. You just simply do. And that's the art of allowing. And that is the flow frequency. When your heart is truly open in the divine feminine energy, in your empress energy, male, female, it matters not, because the males have to be in this frequency too. You just flow and you allow, and everything just goes with ease. And that's wonderful. And not everybody gets to do that, because they're still pulling themselves back to the 3D programming. But the more you practice the art of flow and the art of allow, the more you're going to be in that vibrational frequency. Remember, you are reprogramming your subconscious way of thinking from the 3D to the 5D and above. So the more you work out, the fitter you're going to be. The more you practice meditation, the better flow state you'll have. And the quicker you'll get into that beautiful, beautiful frequency. You know, practice is a practice for a reason, because we must practice. So allow that time for you to simply be in the flow. Even if that's one afternoon a week, 3 hours, and you say to yourself, let's just go with it. Let's see where we end up. Let's just go with the flow. Literally go with the flow and see what happens. So that's a beautiful message from Spirit. That's all about the flow frequency. It's putting you in abundant form so your manifestations can come into your 3D reality. It's about allowing this frequency to come into you. You know, you hold your hands up and you say, I'm in the flow. You know, release and let go, and release and surrender to the frequency. And it's absolutely beautiful. And allow flow. But we have to let go in order to allow flow. So there we go, my beautiful lights. That is your message from Spirit. So it's lovely to have the most beautiful, abundant weekend. And until next time, until they speak again, because we go with the flow on this channel, from my heart to yours. Bye-bye for now.